30 seconds. So everyone, buckle your seatbelts, get yourselves ready, and we will be starting very soon. Someone just dropped out. Okay, we've got 4 players. Pi equals 3. Currently topping it with the highest rating of the lot, 1656. The other 3 have not played in this, but we've got 10 seconds to go. All right, so let's see how we go. First ever bullet tournament. And we have started. Okay, let's start by checking out this game, which is a game between Jack of Ace and Pi equals 3. Pi equals 3 having the black pieces, Jack of Ace having the white pieces. It opens with an unconventional H4 move, doing a rook lift, but the bishop is attacking the rook straight away, so that's worth taking. All right, black's going extremely aggressively here, really pushing the pawns forward and taking control of the center from the start of the game. However, it looks like white is coping just fine until he lost that rook right there. All right, let's keep an eye out on the other game which is happening between the 4 players. Oh, these guys aren't playing yet. That's interesting. Okay, well, let's keep an eye out on this game and see its developments. Looks like black is already up 8 points worth of material. So black's in a commanding lead. He is a favorite with a high rating though, and he's only used 4 seconds of the clock, which is amazing work by him. Remember that the time setting is 2 minutes of clock time, plus you get an extra second every move. So even if it becomes a time scramble later, you do accrue a second of time each move, so that we don't just start seeing people flag. All right, let's analyze this position now. So, I mean, it looks like white's dead loss. His pieces are still stuck in the back. However, you know, the king kind of looks safe in between the 4 pawns there, but there are checkmating threats as well. Wow, that must have been a mouse slip, because that couldn't have been an intentional move there. All right, I'm just going to see if the other game has started yet. All right, guys, you got to hit the join button. That's probably why they're not quite not quite there. But watch black cleaning up. Black is just cleaning up all the pieces, wiping them all off the board. Oh, no, that's not really a threat either. All right, he's just running with his king now, and black's just gobbling up every piece. Want to keep an eye out on the other match. Let's have a look. It still has not started. That's okay. Oh, he chucks in a check. Very, very good. First sign of aggression from the white camp. But white is sadly running out of time. And he just decides to sack the rooks just like that. With 10 seconds to go, I think he's pretty helpless. Got a king, surrounded by his own pawns. A shame that black couldn't finish it off with a checkmate. But looks like black's just having a bit of fun running his king up the board. In a show of... Oh, that was a nice... nice last move there. And there we have it. First game is over. Pi equals 3 secures the lead. You know what? It's a rather empty arena here. All right, let's see if the second game has started yet. Nope. All right, looks like we might have some technical difficulties. It's over before it started. Right, okay, we've got a second game queued up for us. Here we go. Now it's Pi equals 3 with the black pieces versus the Amazing Crispy. Let's flip the board, watch it from the Amazing Crispy's point of view. They've just done a opening, and it looks like black is already going pretty aggressive with, I think this is called the Caro-Kann opening, taking control of the center and defending the center pawn there. And it looks like our white pieces are, the white players doing the asymmetrical opening. Looks to be an even balanced game here so far. Let's see how it plays out. Okay, so let's have a look at what's happening. As with most principles of chess, you want to start by taking control of the center. You want to bring your pieces forward, take control of the middle, which is kind of like the battlefield. Now the battle is really starting to happen with pieces kind of attacking each other in the center. We've got black pinning the knight so that the knight can't move, and when the knight can't move, it can't actively defend or attack those pieces. Black opts to trade that off, which doubles the pawns, and that could be considered a weakness later on. So nice play by black. Black is going for a very symmetrical opening, once again defending the pawns in the center, and looks like we're going to see the queens come off the board in a simplified ending. Great. The pi equals 3 still has a slight time advantage currently with 20 seconds more on the clock, so if we do see a time scramble, it looks like pi equals 3 will come out on top. And what happened there? White decided to resign in a completely drawn position. That was extremely odd. He might have accidentally hit the resign button. Huh. Well, there you go. That was a slightly early end to the game, but pi equals 3 is currently on a 4-point lead. And there's no one else in, so I think I'm just going to join and have a game myself since there's not much action happening here. All right. All right. There is a game happening right here. No, black didn't move, and they resigned. Okay, pi equals 3. All right, let's have a bit of fun. Let's go with a nice little fianchetto system here, getting the bishops out. Oh, this pawn looks like it's yeah, there you go, free pawn, yay! Oh, that's not a great move. All right, yeah, the stream was getting a little quiet. Oh, that was a blunder by me. I can't take it back because my king is currently pinned. So we'll see how we go with this. Okay, he's retreating his bishop. Let's go for an aggressive attack. We'll bring our king over here, line the rook up with the queen, and see how we go. Looks like he's doing a battery straight down here as well, so I will likewise copy and follow suit, just to add the pressure. All right, I might try to work on taking out this knight. Yeah, let's keep advancing on his king's side. Ooh, let's go there. Okay, I'm looking at this pawn right here. It's going to be a sack very, very soon. It's going to be incredibly painful. Okay, so notice that my rook and the bishop is working together at aiming at this pawn. All right, let's just do a troll move. Let's take that. And I reckon this will be a bit of fun. Let's take that. And my rook is skewering the king, which means he can't take it, and he can't even defend. He has to run sideways. Alrighty. Okay, I'm just going to hop out of the arena. Let's look for some other games which are playing. And, oh, it looks like the amazing Crispy is in another game now with Heifer. All right, what's happening here? Looks like based on the point value that black is currently up, and he's just up a fresh piece, but he's hanging this pawn. No, he's not. The bishop's defending backwards. Okay, so, you know, there's chances on both sides, but it looks like black is taking the lead with an extra piece and a bit on this board. I'm just going to have a look at the standings. Pi equals 3 clearly in the lead currently, with Heifer racking up a win as well. The other player, Ace314, has not played a game yet, and Jack of Ace is currently playing. So let's continue following this game as well. Jack of Ace versus Pi equals 3, as well as the amazing Crispy on Heifer. Okay, ooh, White just lost a rook there. Must have just accidentally not seen that piece hang. But, and that means Black is in a commanding lead over the amazing Crispy. Oops. Let's have a look at the other game. Let's follow this one. All right, so we've got Jack of Ace versus Pi equals 3 again here. Same pairings, and once again, a symmetrical position, which is sometimes the way to go. You can play copycats to a certain extent before things start tumbling. So a common tactic is if you take this rook can take first and take out the opponent's rook, which means that that would have been perfect for Pi equals 3, but he didn't see that tactic, and he decides to retreat and follow this symmetrical plan. So Jack of Ace playing a very strategic game there. I just completely missed that. Oh, White blundered his queen, as I said earlier, and lost. Very, very sad. Let's go back to the standings now. Heifer's taken the lead with 2 wins and currently still on fire. Let's see how Heifer's going to go with their upcoming game. Let's continue following Pi equals 3 for this current game. Once again, very, very symmetrical because they were copycatting each other in the opening, but it's starting to diverge a little. This knight is loose. So that's a free knight for Pi equals 3 if he decides to take it, which he does. That must have been a mistake from Jack of Aces black camp. If I were him, I would suggest developing or pushing to get the queen out of the way, just to gain a bit of space in the center. But let's have a closer look. This is a beautiful square for the knight so that you can stay in there. That would be a great place for a knight to camp overnight. Yep, great move. And even if he gets taken, you can always secure the pawn there and start really solidifying the center, which will be a fantastic play. And likewise, White decides to solidify his center as well, making it very hard for the bishop to do anything currently. However, Jack of Ace is running out of time. He's got 40 seconds left on the clock, and there's only 12 minutes left in the tournament as well. So we're about half time. It's almost half bell. And so let's see how this pans out. I was expecting a few more players here. There's plenty of people in the chat, or plenty of these current players talking in the chat. Once again, let's spectate the amazing Crispy versus Heifer. Heifer currently in the lead of the tournament. Wow, Pi equals 3 is starting to clean up here. 7 points up, and Jack of Ace decides to just throw that bishop in the garbage. So we'll see how well Jack of Ace can defend this position. It looks pretty lost. Looks like he's lost on time as well. But if I were them, yep, develop knight, try to block a few key squares, and just hope and pray. Okay, goes for a queen trade. Not a bad idea to simplify, but when you're down a rook, a bishop, and 2 pawns, it's probably not a great idea to simplify because you will lose your advantage further and further. Let's stick with this game. There's 10 seconds left on Jack of Aces' side. But it looks like Pi equals 3 will secure the win here pretty soon. Oh, that's a beautiful skewer. Move the knight for a discovered attack. Fantastic. And it cleans up the bishop as well. The knight. That would be a fantastic square to camp the knight. Right in Black's camp. Alright, but alas, they run out of time with 4 seconds left on the clock. They do get the 1 second increment each time, which does mean that the clock isn't going to run out immediately unless they spend more than a second. Oh, White's managed to clean up that the knight, and with that the game as well. Alrighty, what a fantastic game. Pi equals 3 retains the lead, takes the lead again with 6 points. But let's follow the other game, Heifer and versus the amazing Crispy. Amazing Crispy with the black pieces gone, 10 seconds left. Quite a one-sided game, this one. And that's a free knight. But he decides not to take it. That's interesting. Going for the checkmate instead. Oh, beautiful. That is one for the replay. Did you see that one, guys? Brings the rook in, defended by the pawn, and promotes with checkmate. That is a fantastic, fantastic end to that game. Certainly worthy of a brilliancy prize. Okay, 3 wins for Heifer. Currently undefeated. What an amazing play. All right, our top 2 boards are battling. Heifer versus Pike was 3. Wow, these guys have certainly got a history. They have played about 150 games between them, with Pike was 3 winning 100 of them and Heifer winning about 58 of them. So they've certainly had a history of playing bullet chess, which is very, very exciting. And you can sort of see the streaks that Pike was 3 have racked up, but not without competition. Heifer's won a few games here and there as well. Let's follow this one closely. Cool, so white comes along and pins the knight to the king, immobilizing it, and black breaks the pin with the bishop, placed nicely on d7. White goes for a castle, gets his king out into safety. Black tries to copy, but there's nothing to pin it because his king's not there. Okay, very, very symmetrical position currently. And there's less than 10 minutes left on the tournament, so they're going to have to move quick and really rack up some wins to secure the lead. Okay, nudging, asking the bishop a question, and white decides to retreat the bishop, lining it up towards the enemy king. A common plan that you might see is for the knight to hop here so that it's got access to the same square of h7, and once the knight hops here, the queen can also hop into h5 in some circumstances, really ganging up on this h7 pawn. That could be a weakness for the black camp. That is a typical strategy to really get at the enemy king, which is the name of the game with chess. All right, let's spot some tactics here. It looks like the knight, if he sits here, will be a very comfortable square. After pushing the pawn, though, that's actually a great move because the pawn cannot take it back because the queen is hanging, and the queen will be lost if it gets taken back. Okay, white decides to open up the enemy king, going for the attack. So now there's direct lines into the enemy king now, with some weaknesses, but black manages to trade everything off, which means that he's not as in danger with less enemy pieces against him. Okay, once again, a very, very balanced game. Neither player has the advantage currently. I would suggest that white has a slightly better position just because there's some doubled pawns here with the weakness accessing the king here. And also to mention, the white's light squared bishop can actually attack all these pawns, whereas the black's light squared bishop can't attack these pawns. So it means that this piece is actually a more powerful piece than the bishop. I wouldn't have traded it off because that would trade off the advantage. However, by trading it off, it does double these pawns. Look how ugly the black pawn structure is. Incredibly weak. The issue with doubled pawns is they don't protect each other. Earlier, when there were 3 there, they could have each other's backs, being nice and protected, but now that they're all doubled, they're all going to get cleaned up, as we will see very shortly. But once again, black goes on the vacuum as well and cleans up all those pawns as well. We've got 6 minutes left in the tournament. Quickly flick through the standings, and Heifer is actually undefeated currently in the match against Pike was 3. So those two are the current leaders, which is fantastic to see. So we've got a first versus second match here. The time is equal as well, and I can certainly see some tactics happening here already because it looks like white has his pieces closer to the black king, whereas black's rook is kind of out of play right now. Certainly this pawn's defended, so if white doesn't move it, it will be fine, and the black rook is out of the action. And we can already see black trying to make gains but really struggling, whereas white has pieces around the enemy king. Let's find some plans for black. He can plan to gang up on this pawn, and I think that's what he will do. With 2 attackers, it means the rook will have to go there, otherwise the pawn will get cleaned up. This knight's defended, so he can't even take there. Oh, there's going to be some sort of checkmate very, very soon. That was mate in 2. Check. and mate. But white didn't see that. That's okay. The game continues. With 27 seconds, black is defending very, very well. And like what we said, pressured white to move the pawn. And now the rook is actually much more powerful, having access to all the squares it didn't have access to earlier. So it's great to see black putting on a really strong fight in this game. But now white has a rook behind a passed pawn. He can just push the pawn and turn it into Her Majesty the Queen, which will win the game. That would be a very simple plan for black to execute, but he's going for the checkmate. He's going for glory. Let's see if he can manage it. No, the king always has an escape square, so it looks like white will change to plan B of promoting that pawn. Looks like white's actually down on time. Oh, that would have been a win straight away. That would have won, and he can still do that. Go take it. Go take. Do a fork. Do a fork. Fork down. Do it. Do it. Come on, guys. Come on. Still on the board. Take it. It's a free rook. Oh, it saves the rook. All right. Well, that was unfortunate, wasn't it? That was oh, that's the winner. That's the winning move. Okay. Well done, white. Fantastic, and we're not going to run out of time because there is a 1 second increment on the clock, and so white manages to clean this game up. Won't be long till he wins. Fantastic play by pi equals 3 with the lead here, winning that incredibly tough competition there. Well done. Let's see if there's any other games happening. Okay, let's spectate Jack of Ace versus the Amazing Crispy. This may well be the last game with 4 minutes left until the end of the tournament. They are once again going for the symmetrical setup. This is called the Scotch opening, I believe, named after the good old Scottish people. And that's a very dubious opening. Oh, he's going for the checkmate. Sneaky, sneaky move. Yep. Boom, checkmate. Go take it. It won't be checkmate. There's still a few squares to run, but that would be incredibly close. All right, but the Amazing Crispy does not see it. Okay, as we said earlier, pi equals 3 did win that game, so that was incredibly exciting game to watch. It's still on the board. So Amazing Crispy, oh, he's going for glory. He's going for the style, and that's a fantastic move because it adds an extra attacker piece to the attacking lineup. And now, well, this will just win the rook, but let's see if there's anything better. Oh, that was the blunder of the century. That's a free queen, and along with it, the game. But Jack of Ace decides not to take that free queen, so it looks like, that's fantastic, because the bishop is defending, allowing a mate in 1 here. Let's see if white can spot that mate in 1 to win the game. There it is. All right, fantastic game by the Amazing Crispy. We've got time for one last game. There's 2 minutes left in the tournament. Let's once again spectate Heifer versus pi equals 3. This amazing rivalry coming to action again. Pi equals 3 has won the last 6 games, so is on a bit of a streak. Let's see if Heifer can win this one and break the streak that pi equals 3 currently is in. Let's see if there's any other games happening. So Heifer versus pi equals 3 is on. The Amazing Crispy is not playing, and Elise never started a game, which is a bit of a shame. But Heifer is going for an aggressive attack, sending the pieces flying at the enemy king. That would be a fantastic move, winning the rook. Let's see if Heifer finds it. Okay, but Heifer goes for the attack, probably a slightly dubious move. No, that's actually okay. That's actually okay, because black would just take care of that. But now there's a defense. If the white queen came and took the pawn on g7, the black queen could come around and defend everything. However, white didn't go for that plan, decides to bring the queen into the action. I'm not sure what that does, because it just allows the queen to castle. However, the king can't actually castle, because the bishop could retreat back here to skewer the queen and the knight and the rook with the castle king there. So pretty good play by Heifer. I enjoy the aggressive stance that Heifer is putting on, but now he has to go on the retreat. Oh, the queen's running out of squares. Very low on squares. I mean, there's a couple. But it looks like Hiva couldn't find the knockout blow in this attack, which means Black is wriggling to safety and will start launching his attack very soon. And that's the first move of it, kicking the queen back, telling White's troops to fall back. I'm imagining that Black will continue doing that, just to push the troops back to get his own king to safety. But no, Black is considering keeping his king on the center. Once I said that, they did go for the castle. However, the games have just finished. The tournament is on 0, and we have the standings here. Well done, Hifa, with a 8. Wow, we've got 3 people tied at 8 points. We've got Hifa with 3 wins. Let's have a look at the stats. 4 games played with a performance rating of 1600. The amazing Crispy coming 3rd, all on 8 points. So I hope you enjoyed that little tournament. I know that there's still a game going on, so we might just follow this till the end, but the tournament standings have concluded with Hifa winning the tournament. This last game will not count, but let's just play it for glory anyway. Let's see what's happening. This incredible rivalry between Hifa and pi equals 3. Looks like the bishop is starting to run out of squares, but he finds the pin, which just gets broken by the queen there. As we said, now that Black has managed to defend, Black is starting to launch their own attack against Hifa with the white pieces. Black is incredibly low on time. There was 20 seconds left on the clock, so if Black chooses to attack, they will need to attack soon or keep that increment, keeping him alive. Once again, still a deadlock game. They both only have a bunch of pawns and now have even traded off the queens, allowing just 2 rooks left on the board along with pawns. Okay, that was an interesting, maybe a inaccuracy, this move, because it allows the black pieces to really come into action. Black has lots of pawns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 versus 3. White's starting to clean them up, but Black has still got the advantage of 2 extra pawns, allowing these kinds of pushes to be a reality or a plan to win. You can keep pushing those pawns, and these pawns are just going to come down like Space Invaders. I don't think White's going to stop this plan. Look at these pawns come down. Oh, it's a bit of a game of Space Invaders here. All right, trading off is not going to do the job. And Black doesn't even go for the trade. He goes for the free pawn. Well, wow, that's a fantastic plan. And it looks like White's trying everything they can, but reality is White is 3 pawns up. Okay, still 2. And I don't think that's going to do the job. White's down to the lone king and rook, which is not too bad, but Black's plan is very simple. It's just racing those pawns down the board like Space Invaders, making the way to the enemy base and turning them into more powerful pieces like queens. All right, 1 more step to go. Let's see how they go. All right, defending, and there's no silly business to be had here. I reckon Black can just keep running the other pawns up and will be unstoppable. Yep, can't fault that plan. Well, it's been fantastic to have this first live stream of a chess tournament. I hope it brought a little bit of joy into your lives, especially in such trying circumstances currently. So thank you so much for joining. I'm going to do a recap later on, award some prizes to these players, but congratulations. Pi equals 3 and Hifa. Hifa wins even after that, just for the glory. So well done, Hifa, for the win, and thank you for everyone to compete and everyone on stream. Thank you so much for joining us, and hope to see you next time.